Chris Level here with, let's see, we're going to call this one Patriot Talk, okay? So
All
I'm
right.
with Principal Phillip Saffel. We do want to thank the folks at Texas Tech Federal Credit Union for sponsoring all these podcasts, whether it's Pirate, Patriot, whatever. We're all LCP here. And pleased to be joined by this guy who is taking on a new venture and named the principal at Liberty High School, which is now going to be in the Cooper District and obviously opens up this coming fall. So we're going to talk to Principal Saffel about how he got to this point and kind of what things look like over at Patriot Land. How about that?
Excellent, man. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just let's let people get to know you a little bit on your journey here. How'd you end up here? Like, how did you end up? Because well, here's what's fascinating. I don't want to bury the lead here. You're from Liberty, Texas.
I am. Liberty, Texas.
You can't make this stuff up, folks.
No, and I had no input on the naming, so it wasn't. I don't know. It's interesting.
Meant to be.
Yeah. So I grew up outside of Houston, Liberty, Texas. Graduated from Liberty High School, and then I came out to Texas Tech. Graduated as a Red Raider. So actually graduated with a degree in psychology. Then I.
Please don't analyze me.
Got a
yeah, right. Yeah, I don't know if I could handle that. Yeah,
you can't.
I know.
You can't handle it. So then I got a job at Lubbock County working as an adult probation officer. I did that for about 6 years. And then my heart just wasn't in it. I loved all my coworkers. Actually, really enjoyed working with the people that I worked with. But I felt as though I was on the wrong end of it. So after reading some books and kind of doing some soul searching, I decided education was the route to go. Very interesting. I did an alternative certification, quit my job, had a baby at the time, so it was a little nerve-wracking, but my wife was very supportive, so thanks to her. And so I was actually on my way out to South Elementary. I did my student teaching there, and I was going to sign a contract with them, and randomly just walked into Lubbock-Cooper Middle School, trying to get a job, and luckily Ms. Gunsett, Mr. Pascal, they hired me, and so I worked there for 2 years as a co-teacher, behavior, and then I had my own classroom, and then I transitioned to the assistant principal there. So it was a pretty quick jump from adult probation to teaching, and then to administration pretty fast. So.
And ended up at from there kind of like New Hope Academy.
Yeah. So I was at the middle school for several years, and then the opportunity came to be the principal at New Hope Academy.
Which explain what that is. There's too many people, I think, myself included, that don't have a great appreciation or familiarity with what that is and what its purpose is.
Yeah, for sure. And that program's grown amazing. It's been a great opportunity for students. Mr. Grant's running it right now and doing a wonderful job.
And it's in the Cooper District.
It is a Lubbock-Cooper alternative high school. So it's really designed for juniors and seniors at risk of dropping out. But it does so much more than that. Some kids are just ready to graduate, kind of done with the school. There's a lot of kids at our high school, so some can't just deal with all the crowds. So it's one of those unique campuses that really meets the student where they are and is allowed to get them across that finish line. It's an amazing program. It's kind of a brainchild of Mr. Bryant.
And they can work.
Oh yeah, so it's a half-day program. They have a morning session and an afternoon session, and then it is a high school diploma. Lots of people wonder that. So it is a full-fledged diploma, and then it's. I mean, my heart's there. It's a wonderful place. I was there for 5 years, building that program up, and a lot of support from the board and from Mr. Bryant, and just kind of the vision for that. So located behind Laura Bush. It's a nice new facility. They finished that, I think, when they finished central office. So, but it's a really, really unique environment and fun for students.
Yeah, and I appreciate you kind of offering that context there, because we hear the New Hope Academy all the time, and I just don't think a lot of people grasp what it is and what it means. But you were the principal there.
I was.
Yes, then this then kind of this phase opens up. So kind of take me through how we ended up here.
Yeah, how do we end up here? Yeah. My wife thinks I'm crazy because New Hope was like my dream job. You know what I mean? Like that's if you kind of look back at my history and kind of
Yeah, it
where the
seems right
stars
your skill
align,
set,
like, man,
yeah.
that's where I wanted to be. And then, it's weird, but you think of like your realm of influence. And so I feel as though a pretty good impact on a small group of students. Man, and if I can expand that out, I mean, that's what I'm all about. So let's try to influence as many young adults and moving in the right direction and, their direction. I'm not judging which direction they go, but just want to make sure we're setting them up for success. So.
Okay, and then, see, because you've been the Liberty principal technically for we're going on close to a year. I mean,
Close to a year, yes, sir.
Yeah.
And that's a weird thing because I don't even have a campus.
Right.
My office is my backpack.
I see you all the time.
I've had a wonderful experience this year, though. I've been an assistant principal at the high school, so I transitioned over the summer. And that's been an eye-opening experience. It's really awesome, the campus and environment that Mr. Winton creates out there, the teamwork. It's admirable and something I want to mimic definitely at Liberty.
Yeah, because your days are involved with planning, thinking ahead, like all the things with a new campus that there's just so many questions and programs and just all kinds of stuff going on. But then you're also like at the high school, like in the middle of everything over there, kind of principling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is that a word?
Definitely try to help out. I don't know how much help I am at times, and it's been fun though. Any time that you're around our students and just kind of getting the energy that they have, and it keeps you young and keeps you involved, and it's a great thing to be a part of. And people say that all the time, but to experience it, it's amazing.
Yeah. So, okay, so we'll hit several different things here in this, and we may come back in a couple of 3 weeks as things kind of change and progress and all that.
Yeah, that'd be great.
And do another one of these with you. But so right now, timetable for campus, for people that are out there, their kids are going to end up going, whether they're going to be a current sophomore or current ninth grader next year, or they're in the seventh grade right now and they're going to be 2 years away and that's where they're going. What's the timetable for when this thing is ready to be moved into? When can I sit in English class? I mean, are they going to serve me pizza on the first day at the cafeteria? Whatever questions. Kind of take us through timetable there.
I think they serve pizza every day. I think that's a staple.
It's like the square, the rectangle one too.
Yeah.
It's like always the school pizza is always the best. That and Salisbury steak, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to Salisbury steak as far
The
as
orange
cafeteria.
chicken's actually
there you go. Okay,
the nachos.
very good.
But yeah, no, I don't know about pizza being served on the first day, but that's definitely
hypothetical.
Yeah,
We're not going to hold you to
they
it.
will have food.
Yeah.
We'll have a cafeteria. So students will be walking through those doors August 2023.
Okay.
It's on track. It's they started the flooring, and it's amazing the job Sandia is doing and getting the timelines pretty tight. But we are pushing it, and we will be.
And they're working 6 days a week, I think.
They're working a lot, man. They're always out there. I went out on Sunday and walked through the campus, and they were out there working. So
Okay, 7 days a week.
It's kind of hit or miss, but they're doing a good job. So as far as timeline goes, we'll be opening the building with our first floor. We'll have classrooms, science labs, some of our CTE areas. The cool thing, we've ordered all the furniture. The board approved that last month, so we're on that timeline. They should start moving furniture in July. Hopefully, we'll be able to be in our offices beginning of August, and then
And real quick, so let's right now we're going to show you a floor plan of kind of the first floor of the school. And so, Principal Saffel, if you'll kind of, like to you see the two basketball courts, competition gyms, and things like that. That's so when you're on Woodrow Road and you're looking at the front of the school, these gyms are to your left, and the central part of the school, like these purple areas right there in the center. What is that?
Yeah,
exactly?
so
Or the
those
blue
are those are
areas?
some CTE classrooms.
Okay.
It's health science tech. We got some robotics and engineering, and we also have our band hall is going to be right there as well as a temporary band hall until Phase 2's built, and then they'll have the facilities then. But
So to the far right, that's actually the entrance.
yeah, so all the gray is kind of our commons area there. I guess is that a fuchsia color? Would you say fuchsia? Yeah.
Puce.
Puce. Yeah, and so it's mirrored on the other side with the salmon color, and that's the administrative office. So as parents come in, you'll come in through those double doors there, and that'll enter into the office area.
So yeah, and I want to focus on this commons area with the stairs. If we have another image, we can show you here of the social stairs. There you go. That's so. Here's what you're looking at here is like, I think that what you're looking at is like a side view of it.
Yeah, so actually we
to
are
the right
on
or to the left.
we are on the social stair on the other side.
Okay, this
Yeah.
rendering would
So
be.
we're at the top of it. Mirrors exact opposite of what we're looking at. So this is our main commons area. It's a social stair, which about almost 300 kids could sit in this area. So if you do both sides, 600 kids are able to be kind of sitting on the social stairs, not accounting for the furniture that we're putting in there. And the whole point of the campus is just high purpose areas, being intentional with our space. If you anywhere on this campus, you'll be able to go and create an educational setting for students. And so I think that's a really cool opportunity, but it also allows students that downtime, hey, I need to just take a minute. I need to either be by myself or I want to just hang with my friends. And it creates that. So looking at this picture, to the left is the cafeteria. To the right is the library and administrative offices like we were discussing earlier.
And I've walked through here with you. This is a rendering, but I've walked the actual space, and it's massive.
Yeah, it's
it just
big.
doesn't like it. You can't really appreciate it until you're looking up and around and everything because it's a monster area.
I think in this main area, I think the architect said you can fit East Elementary into it. So like when you think about that.
An entire school.
Yeah, pretty much entire elementary school. It's massive, which is great. I think we're really future planning it. And that's the beauty of this whole project is that we have been able to master plan it. And so, although
because y'all are thinking down the road and big picture, this isn't about the short term or anything. This is way off into the distance. And one thing about Mr. Bryan is they build great buildings in this district, and this is with the future absolutely in mind here, because this is going to grow, and and I don't know how many students will be in there in year one, but as each year goes along, it's it's,
yeah, we are open with freshmen and sophomores. Our numbers are just right over 300,
and let's talk about that a little bit too. People have asked, well, is this class going to be available? Is this and that? Well, ultimately, big picture, this is going to be the same as Cooper High School. They're going to be mirrored campuses. However, initially, this one won't have some of those junior and senior level classes. Guess what? No juniors and seniors. Don't need them. So
yeah, the thing there is that we're going to meet the kids where they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the main thing is we don't want to. We're building the foundation for your kids. We're building that solid foundation to really allow them to have those stepping stones whenever they step out of our doors in 2 years, in 3 years, And so I think that's the main focus. There might not be some of the courses offered, but there is a pathway to that.
Yeah.
And so, there are required courses that the state has to have you take. So, we might have to focus on some of those first and then get into more advanced academics. But our goal, again, like I said, is to meet the student. We've just done all of our student requests. I'm sure that was a fun process for parents. Mr. Winton stood up in front of everybody at the parent meeting, and I was like, yeah, It's January, but we're already talking about August.
Yeah,
you
tell
know?
me about student requests. What does that mean? Like schedule?
Schedule. So students completed their, they have a Zello account, and they went through, and they actually have to create a 4-year plan. So that's a little nerve-wracking, especially as a 8th grade parent looking at it, or even as I mean, your son's a freshman, so even looking at that and making the tweaks and changes. So, but yeah, so we've collected all that information, and we'll be starting to kind of piece together that master schedule. So.
Okay. And explain to me, because like, obviously we had to live through that with like current freshmen now, that there was some choices made, but then now after that, it's like, okay, where you live is where you go.
Correct.
And I'm sure you've had a million questions coming at you like, oh, I want to go there, or I don't want to have to go there, or who knows what. And I'm sure, but you guys at this point, it's based on just where you live. It's the district boundaries and
Correct.
lines and all those things. So I'm sure you fielded lots of questions from just general curiosities, or people that are either excited or angry or whatever, all in between.
Yeah. And I love talking about it. So
Yeah.
if you shoot a question over. I mean, I have a lot of things on my radar, but you never know. Some people might be like, "Oh, have you thought about this?" Oh, and there's a lot of pieces to this puzzle. And again, my main goal is just meet your kid where they are, and make them successful. So
P. Saffel at lcisd.net. We'll put that email address up on the screen, and if you have questions, concerns, compliments, whatever, I'm sure Principal Saffel would love to kind of engage with you. And certainly this is on, all of these things are on his radar, because we've talked about everything from, hey, are they having a band? Are they having football? Are they having, advanced academic classes? I mean, there's all the questions out there, some of which we can get into now, some of which we just don't know the answers to. But yeah, ultimately, this is going to be the same high school, just one end of Woodrow versus the other end of Woodrow. One will be a Pirate, one will be a Patriot, all those things. So it'll be more of a process with Liberty. What do we decided Liberty High School, Lubbock-Cooper High School, Liberty, do we know kind of what you wanted to go? Because there is the LCP will be, factored in predominantly everywhere you see in
yes,
red.
correct.
In red,
yeah.
Yeah.
And Lubbock-Cooper Patriots, but we are going with Liberty High School.
Okay, Liberty High School.
I think it's like LCLHS, but that's a mouthful. So
Okay, Lubbock-Cooper, Liberty High
Lubbock-Cooper,
School.
Liberty High School,
Okay, gotcha.
just Liberty High School for everyday use, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and we will get. Tell me about Joe Sexton. I know you're going to work closely with him. You have been working closely with him.
Joe and I meet every day, multiple times a day.
Literally,
That man's fired up.
Yeah.
He is ready to rock and roll.
Yeah.
And he's been working his tail off, finding some excellent coaches, both within district but outside of district. And so, that's been a fun process just to see all that it entails going into athletics. It's interesting. We talked, I guess, last week, and the main reason I stayed in high school, stayed and plugged in, was due to extracurriculars. And that's a big pool for students. And
that's the high school experience for
it
a lot of
really
kids,
is,
whether
yeah.
they're band or whether they're playing football or playing any sport. It's just that's your crew, that's your group, that's who you're spending time with, and that's what where you wear the logo of a Liberty or LCP or whatever.
Yeah, it's been great working with him, and he has so many years of experience. I mean, he is it's amazing just kind of watching him work, and the networking that he already knows, and it's going to be fun, man. It's just going to be fun watching them on the sidelines, working with our kids and coaching them, and just seeing how they go. Also, John Jones, our band director. I mean, what a rock star to get there too. I mean, he is.
Because it's important to people.
It is. I mean, it's important to me too.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
Drumline's one of my favorite things to watch. And band at pep rallies and football games and all that stuff. It's great. And so with both of those programs, it's going to be a phase build, and so some of the space for that. So we might feel the constraint there, in some of our temporary makeshift areas. But then the facilities at the other end of it. I mean, if you're just looking down the road and just giving us a little flexibility and some patience, you know, like you said earlier, we build nice buildings. We want our students to have that experience, and it's going to be top notch. So
Yeah, and I mean, obviously, at the beginning of what would the 24 season, I guess a year from this fall, there'll be a brand new stadium for a band and a football team and all that to kind of participate in and showcase and all those things. So some of that stuff is a lot of fun. And I know there's people curious on, okay, the hiring process. You mentioned we're hiring some coaches and teachers and all that. This is something you are in the midst of.
yes,
You're very well aware that you're trying to staff a school, and you've got some numbers now and some interests and things like that. But while I think we can, is there a few coaches or one coach, one of Joe's coaches that's been approved by the board? I think we can. Dwayne Tolliver.
Yeah,
I think
Dwayne
you
Tolliver.
mentioned.
Yeah,
so
coming from
that
Borger.
defensive coordinator. Yeah, but I think there's some other ones in the works and things like that. And other sports too, and most of these coaches will be involved in multiple different sports. That's just the way
sure.
that this is going to work. But as far as hiring teachers and just coaches, you guys are in the midst of it. Take me through your vision of that or your process, because you're involved in every one of these, whether it's band director, science teacher, girls basketball coach, whatever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, for sure. So we're rolling those out, and so I think we have about 15 or so postings out there already. And so,
So if you're interested,
yeah, for sure. You need to do the little link at the bottom. Yeah,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
We'll
do
link that at the
yeah,
bottom.
We'll link that at the bottom.
Yeah.
If you are interested in teaching or being involved with Liberty High School,
Yeah,
and
for
I
sure.
think as soon as some of those are filled, you guys will post more. And
More,
then-
yeah.
and then more, and then-
So it's kind of to space that out just a little bit, and it's a little early. Most teachers are
Involved
in the
in
midst
their-
of their work right now,
yeah.
and so we've had a lot of applications. We've had a lot of interest, so that's good to see. You hear about a teacher shortage. Everybody's leaving the field, and so we've opened those up both in district and outside, and so we're really just casting that net out and gonna pull in because we talked about building beautiful facilities and having amazing buildings, but what really matters is the people that you put inside of them.
No doubt.
And so
You're in the people business.
yeah, exactly. And so that's kind of our focus right now, or my main focus is scheduling those interviews, going through that process, and trying to make it an enjoyable experience because this should be the fun part of it.
What have you learned about interviewing people? Because you're doing this in mass at some level. You were talking to people for a variety of different roles, and some of these roles kind of cross over. What have you just learned in general about yourself as you've talked to a variety of people or the industry itself?
Yeah, I think I've learned, or I've noticed, it's more of a notice, just how prepared people come. You know what I mean? Like, it's nice to see, and that's
Absolutely.
being able to talk to an adult and something that they're passionate about, because that passion drives, especially right now. So, you go have ups and downs in the school year. And so February, we were kind of off the Christmas break. That was kind of a high point, and then it kind of slowly starts going down. And so if you're not passionate about what you're doing, then, it's going to be hard to keep engaged and keep
people see
going.
through it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's kind of been the one thing, just the passion that the industry drives, because teaching really is a passion. So.
I'm trying to think of anything else that we may have missed. And I know that they're building. Let's see, there's stuff going on. Constantly. They're putting glass up on the front of the building. Just in the past few days, as we sit here and talk, the football field and track and a scoreboard will go up in the coming months. I mean, it's just constant movement and.
Yeah, I think the turf will go down in about 2 months. They do a first layer, which was really interesting. And
It's
John's
an education too.
It really is. And Coach Wyndham's report this last podcast, it was cool listening to the different types of turf. So I'm excited. This isn't going to
fill.
burn your feet.
Yeah, the fill.
The
of
fill,
it,
yeah. I do want to talk about the media center, which is the library.
That's right.
And
And we'll show you that. An image of that as we. Yeah, the library, and it says media center on the image here, but I think that is something that. And here's kind of a glimpse
And I'll tell you, this is probably going to be my favorite space of the building.
Okay.
Until our fine arts wing is done, because I think
Okay.
that's going to just be mind blowing.
Okay.
And just, yeah, it's going to be great.
So you see the 4 different images right here. Tell me what, like, we'll go.
Yeah, so this is our first floor. It's a 2-story library. On the top is kind of a big meeting area, and then some conference rooms. So teachers can take their kids in there and have a small group, or, if you're in the community and need a place to meet, this will be an area for you.
Okay.
We actually have a business hub that's part of our second phase, but we'll have a business hub here, so people in the community, if they need a place to work and come and influence our kids, talk about their profession with students.
Okay.
It's a really cool program that we're going to be firing up, both at both high schools, and so. But yeah, this is our circulation area. It's right there in the middle. We've got a maker space, kind of some lounge area, but this is going to be a very inviting space for kids. Plan on having it open up during the lunchtime so kids can go in there, again, as a quiet place to read, relax, maybe play some games, so.
And you mentioned 2-story a second ago, because the library would be 2-story. What we showed you in the very beginning of the podcast is that floor plan. That's just the first floor. Okay.
Yeah,
There is
correct.
a second floor. And ultimately, correct me if I'm wrong here, aren't they, when it's all said and done, isn't this like I don't know how I want to phrase it, but like, because this is 2/5 that will initially be opened up of the building. Is that fair? Okay, so the other 3/5 are still to come, and I don't know if that's phase 2 or 3, 4, 5, 6, whatever. But ultimately, you're talking well over 300,000 square feet
Yeah,
of school,
Correct.
which is giant.
Yeah. The second phase, which hopefully they'll start construction on that pretty soon, which is crazy to think. So we're right back at the beginning. And it goes towards Quaker. And it really is a replica of the educational classrooms just on the other side.
Okay.
But, in that area, we'll have our cosmetology program. We'll have our wood shop, welding, ag classrooms down there. And then that's also where our fine arts will be. So we'll have band hall, choir, orchestra, everything there. And then there's some cool career and technology classrooms that are going to be kind of specialized things that we'll have there. And then we'll also have art classrooms, it's going to be a beautiful space because a lot of natural light in the whole building. So there's skylights pretty much throughout. So, it's conserving energy, but also it illuminates without having any lights on. So that's pretty cool.
So many things went into this design and just thoughts that I just wouldn't have ever thought of. But
Yeah, I
a
mean,
lot of meetings.
Park Hill Architects, it blows my mind. Like, just they did a wind study, they did a sunlight study. The positioning of the building, if you look at it, it's kind of at an angle, and it's all for wind and sunlight, just to maximize, energy efficiency. It's pretty mind blowing, honestly. But
Yeah. Well, I really appreciate you doing this. When we get further down the road and there's more things that are finished and built, and at some point maybe you and I can do a walkthrough.
Yeah, for sure.
Over there, just to kind of give everybody a good kind of look at things and all that. I think that would be important to do. But I just wanted people to get to know who you are. And for people that don't know, Phillip, wonderful guy, all kinds of energy, very positive and very engaging. And again, take him up on the email address.
Yeah, for sure. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah.
I tell people all the time, man, if you have a question, just shoot me an email, or, it's one of those things where a lot of rumors, just a lot of speculation, and some of it might be right, some of it's not, but man, shoot me an email. If I'm able to answer it, I'll find an answer for you and I'll get back to you. I am here for you. I'm here for your students. I'm excited to be a Patriot.
Absolutely.
I've enjoyed being a Pirate, learned a lot, and so we'll kind of keep that rolling. So.
Well, I appreciate the time today, and we'll do this again. But I guess thank you again to Texas Tech Federal Credit Union. This has been an edition of Patriot Talk. We'll talk to you next time.
Excellent.